Hello, everyone. Welcome to our question and answer session. My name is Amanda Dion. I work here at Minneapolis Public Schools and am the director of our engagement department. Today, I am here with a team of experts in our enrollment office to answer some questions that we often hear from families during our enrollment season. I would like to introduce Maricela, who is in the enrollment office, Shakur, as well as Leanna. Thank you for being here with us today. So the first question that I have is for you, Maricela, is how do I request a Minneapolis public school?
It's very easy and very fast. You're able to go to our website, exploremps.org. You'll enter your home address, select a school, and just kind of follow the steps along the online request form. It is very mobile friendly, and it's available in 5 different languages. Now, for the families that don't feel comfortable doing it online, we can definitely have them come in person to fill out the paper form. And we're located at Student Enrollment, and that's at 1250 West Broadway.
Thank you. Follow-up question to that we hear from our families is, how will I know which schools my children can attend?
So we do encourage families to request their community school or a magnet school or a combination of both. Now, if they are interested in 2 different magnet schools, we do recommend that they request their community school as their choice. Now, if they do request it by that February 7th due date, they'll have a more likelihood of being placed in their first choice selected.
Okay, so February 7th is an important date to remember.
Very important date.
Thank you. Shakur, what is a community school? What are the placement rules?
Community school is so the Minneapolis Public Schools district is divided into small attendance areas, and each attendance area has its own elementary school, middle school, and high school. And so all the students who live within that attendance area qualify for a bus unless they live within the walking zone.
Thank you. Follow-up question. What's a magnet school? What's different about the enrollment process?
So magnet school is citywide, and what that means is any student who lives in Minneapolis can make a request, and if they do get into the school, they will get busing unless they live within the walking zone.
Thank you. Leanna, am I guaranteed a spot at my community school? Do I have to request it?
So families should request the community school or schools that they're looking for their students so that we know and have record of that request. Otherwise, if you wait until after that enrollment due date of February 7th, some of the classes could fill up, and at that time there could be a possibility of a waiting list.
Thank you. What if we move during the request and enrollment period?
So please do let one of the team members know from the enrollment team here at Minneapolis Public Schools if you are to move, so that we can let you know of any school changes that would affect, and also the programs and services within your community school area.
A question that we often hear from families that ask for more information about is, what is an out-of-area community school? And can I request an out-of-area community school?
Yeah, great question, Amanda. So when we say community school, like we said before, it is based off of your home address. And so for any school that's not in that attendance area will be considered an out-of-area school. So it means that you don't physically live in that attendance area of this school. You are definitely able to request any school that you're interested in, but only a small number of students are placed during a lottery. Now, if you do happen to get a placement in an out-of-area school, transportation would not be provided.
Another question that we receive from Minneapolis Public Schools families is about preschool options. What preschool options does Minneapolis Public Schools offer?
Yeah, so we do have 2 different options for our little ones in MPS. The first one's called High Five, which is a program for 4-year-olds. They must turn 4 by September 1st to qualify, and it's offered at different community and magnet schools, 27 to be exact. And we also have what's called 3 School. Now, this is for 3-year-olds. It's a lot more limited. Unfortunately, it's only offered at 2 locations.
Thank you. To continue the questions around High Five and preschool options, another question that we receive from MPS families is, if my child is attending High Five at my attendance area community school, do they automatically get to stay there for kindergarten?
So yes, all students who are currently attending High Five in the Minneapolis Public Schools will be enrolled next year at their community schools. If you are interested in a magnet school, please make the request, and that is from November 20 to February 7th.
Thank you. So you mentioned magnet schools. How do magnet waiting lists work?
So every request that we receive is entered into the placement system, and it's the system that puts them in order. And the order is based on their priority enrollment, such as whether the student lives in Minneapolis or if they live within the school's half-mile radius, or if they do have a sibling in there. When we run the magnet lottery, we place as many students as possible to fill the open seats. Students who remain on the list after the lottery make the wait list. Students stay on the wait list in a priority order.
Thank you so much for the information. On the theme of waiting lists, Leanna, how do community school waiting lists work?
So if you request your attendance area community school by that February 7th due date, you can expect your child to be placed in the first round of school placements by the first week of March, and they shouldn't need a waiting list. Now, some community schools are filled by summertime, so requests received in June or later may need to be added to a waiting list.
Thank you. Can my child be on a waiting list for an out-of-area community school?
Some out-of-area requests may be honored, but students will not be added to the waiting list for out-of-area community schools. But all request records are saved in our enrollment system.
Thank you. Marticela, do waiting lists roll over to the next school year?
No, waiting lists do not roll over for the next school year. So, for example, if you requested your third grade student to be placed in a particular school building and they weren't able to get in, you would have to submit another request for next fall for fourth grade.
Transitioning to our next topic, what's the difference between distance learning and MPS online school?
That's a great question. We get that a lot. So in March of 2020, due to COVID-19, across the district, we moved to distance learning because students would not be able to be in person in school as well as staff. And so by doing so, the district realized that a lot of parents enjoyed this style of learning, and it was a great method for students as well. And so they created a school called MPS Online, and that's now offering kinder through 12th grade.
Thank you for sharing the differences between distance learning and MPS online school. We will move on to our next topic, which is about the second lottery. Shakur, what is the second lottery? How does it work?
So the second lottery is focused and it's all about magnet schools. And so it's for students who did not get in to magnet schools from the first lottery. And also, so the due date for the second lottery is April 4th. So any requests up until April 4th, and also the students who did not get in from the first lottery will be in this lottery, in the second lottery.
If I didn't get the magnet school I requested in the first lottery, will I have another chance in the second lottery?
Yes, you will have an opportunity of getting into the second lottery.
Next question that we received from our families, and switching topics again. If I request my community school after the first due date, will it be in the lottery?
So the second lottery is only for magnet schools. That said, you can request a community school at any time, and we will process that as soon as possible, given that there's space in that grade, and that in some cases you may have to submit proof of address.
For my final question, it's more of a technical question. What if my childcare and home addresses are in different attendance areas?
So if the childcare is not in your attendance area, you may want to look into a magnet school because the magnets now do provide citywide busing.
Thanks to our panel for answering these frequently asked questions. We know every family situation may be a little bit different. Our enrollment team is here to help. Reach out to us by calling 612-668-1840 or by email. We look forward to hearing from you.